Have any of you guys watched the Don't Date Brandon documentary that's on Paramount Plus? I watched it just because I heard about it on TikTok. I probably would have never known about it unless I didn't see it on TikTok. So I thought, okay, I'm going to watch this thing. And I did. It took me a couple days to get through it because I think there was like 3 or 4 episodes or something. And I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this. Now, he was like a crazy person. They were right to do the documentary on him. He did all sorts of things. He had been married and then divorced, and then he married a second time and had convinced that wife that the first wife was crazy. And he also went so far as to say that they had to deal with their daughter through a parenting app. So he logged into a parenting app. He made himself a profile. Unbeknownst to his second wife's knowing, he made a second account under his ex-wife's name to pretend that he was talking with her back and forth on this parenting app. And she was also talking to who she thought was the ex-wife on the parenting app, but she was really talking to him and he was giving the responses, which is wild that he even thought to do that, but he did. And so eventually, after a while, I don't want to get into the whole thing, it's too long, but eventually after a while, the second wife divorced him and he moved on to a third woman. By the way, this whole time he's on dating apps and he's screwing around and he's cheating on both of these women when he was married to them. But then he gets in with a third woman and he actually gets to the point with her where she wants nothing to do with him. He's stalking her. There's like video surveillance of him stalking her outside of her house. He breaks into her house. And eventually like she started dating somebody else and he broke into the house while the guy was there. He had a weapon that he was pointing around. He was dragging her around. He had her in like a chokehold. He threw her down the ground. I mean, all this is caught on camera. And so eventually the cops see all the evidence and he gets sentenced. I don't want to say the whole thing because I don't want to ruin it for anybody that wants to watch it, but I watched this whole thing and I thought, that is wild. I'm glad they made a documentary on this guy, but I really got to thinking, like, is this guy really that much of a crazy guy that we haven't seen a bunch already? I mean, I myself have dealt with men that are just as crazy as that guy, okay? I've had so many different things happen to me in relationships. I've had everything from guys say that they're going to pass because they're sick. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, C word. 2 different times, 2 different guys, 2 different relationships said that they had this and that they were going to pass away and they needed my help to, take care of them. Neither one of them had it. And I've also had somebody tell me that they had a heart problem that didn't really have a heart problem. Like I found out they didn't really have a heart problem. So illnesses, like guys faking illnesses, grave illnesses, because they needed my help to heal or to try to get through until they had to pass. I mean, I'm serious. I had one guy text me from a different number and say that they were a psychic and that somebody that I loved who had passed had contacted her and said that she wanted me and him to get back together because that was the best thing for me. What? I knew automatically this was bullcrap. Like, there's no way a psychic is going to say, no, I already knew that was a lie. But this just goes to show you over and over that men like this exist. They exist a lot. Maybe not pointing the weapons and stuff like that all the time, even though it does happen. But like the lying, the cheating, all of this stuff, the stalking. I've had stalkers before. It's happened. And you think at first they're a normal person, but they are not normal, okay? So let's just think about that. That documentary, watch it if you haven't watched it, and think about if anything like that's ever happened to you. And I bet you can come up with some times where it has happened to you. Something similar like that's happened to you. Love you guys. Bye.